Hey guys, this is 97 Lego Maniac and I'm here to teach you how to give leg details on the Lego custom stuff. Yeah, so what you need is sandpaper. And I have some sandpaper here. I need to buy some new ones because I basically used up all of them. So yeah, you need sandpapers, and I'm gonna give details for my Rip Hunter figure like I promised last month, and I haven't done it. So yeah, here's Rip Hunter, and I'm gonna take off his legs. I saved the reason why I didn't work on him because I was gonna save him to make this tips video for you guys. So yeah, here's his legs. Basically, I want to give him some leg details. So what you want to do is grab your cellular device, one to watch porn, and the other to basically do your minifigure. So I'm gonna close my Pornhub tab and open my Google tab so that way I can show you guys Rip Hunter's legs. Rip Hunter's legs on Google, not on Pornhub. Okay, Rip Hunter Legends of Tomorrow. The first thing you want to do once you get your reference photos, and I hopefully he has something on his leg. I believe it's like a couple of pockets, I think. So, all right, as I try find them as I go on. Obviously, whenever you paint legs on minifigures, they usually would scratch off when you bend them. There is a couple of ways to avoid this. One, without sandpaper. Here's what I do. Like what I did for my Jay Garrick, if you guys remember, it's basically just one line throughout. Yeah, all you need to do is first remove the line, paint the line. No, you have to remove the leg and then paint the straight line, and you have to leave it to dry. Once you do that, you grab this. It's a sealant gloss varnish. Here's what it looks like. You can get this at your local art store. And you would get a brush and paint that over the line and wait for it to dry for a couple of days. That's actually what I did for my Spider-Man, and this leg turned out good. This one I might have to repaint that and gloss and put sealant on it again because it's scratched off. But you can see I did not sand the legs, and the leg detail does not scratch off because I wait for a couple of days for this to dry, and then I put sealant on top of the legs or the gray area because I don't feel like sanding this. So that's Spider-Man for you. Yeah, it's a sneak peek of Spider-Man. I really love how he looks. Yeah, so you need to sand the legs, and you have to sand it just a little bit. You don't have to sand it too much unless if you're basically changing the color, kind of like with Woody's arms and legs, because for Ultron and Groot I have to sand their legs a lot until you see basically a gap. So you also have to get the bottom corner edges, which I can't really do in this video. So you gotta carefully sand it just bit by bit, just like that. So you do so. You can also sand the details off the legs like that. It's totally fine. But if you're gonna take off the details from the torso, I highly recommend using a pencil eraser. Because the thing about sanding, whenever you paint on a sanded area, you can't erase it clearly. So, yeah. Let me finish sanding that. So this now is thoroughly sanded, and once you get this dusty feel, remove the dust. Be careful not to inhale it, and basically put it back. So you can kind of see just a little tiny gap, not that noticeable. Yeah, because I usually sand legs a lot, so you can see tiny gaps, but like a big, huge chunk missing. You could tell by looking at Ross's figures, but I don't do that anymore because it looks weird. So I'm gonna go find pictures of Rip Hunter's costume, so that way we can actually start this figure. This might take a little bit time. Oh, there's a good lighting photo here. I lied. That is not a good photo. No, that's a better photo. If my phone would load. Alright, so he has these, you can't really tell here, but he has these, I think that can work. So Rip Hunter has these, can my phone, finally, I hate my phone, seriously. So he has these pockets right here if you take away that watermark. So yeah, let's paint the pockets. We need a tub of water. That's what I have here. So I'm gonna move that out of the way. Get a tub of water, and so, but you can tell by looking at the legs, it loses the shininess that Lego plastic has. So what you need to do, get this sealant, I'm gonna use a tiny, just a normal looking brush, like a normal thin brush. Dip a little bit of sealant and just cover it. Cover this, so that way, because what the sealant does, it gives you that shiny feel to Lego, and it also protects the paint from scratching off, unless if you scratch it off real hard. So I'm gonna leave the legs like this and then wait for that to dry. So how's your day, guys? Sorry for not doing these like tips for so long. It's just usually I work with Sam a bit, but Sam's never online. Because he's always dead and he comes back to life at random times. So as it dries, we're gonna sand this leg. So yeah, so sandpaper, very important when you're making custom minifigures. So keep sanding, sanding, sanding it. Because a lot of people keep asking this question, but I honestly think this is common sense, guys. Because if you look at some of our minifigures, you could tell that some of the legs are sanded. Because you can tell by the opening gaps in between. So yeah, just look at like a Ross's Ultron figure, his Groot figure, some of his Halo figures maybe, and his Green Goblin, and you can see there's like a huge chunk in between the legs and the hips. It'll be like a big gap. It'll be like this. It'll look like this or something. Yeah, that's because he sanded a lot. So, and is it dry? It's mostly dried, yes. So let's get our thin brush, our very fine tipped brush, and we're gonna paint some pockets. Yay! And so we have like our paint. Gonna wash it with water a bit and dry it on our little napkin and dip a little bit. If you think you have too much paint, then you can just like easily just like brush it off here on the top. Gotta make sure the brush isn't gotta make sure the brush is pointy though. If you have hair sticking out, what you can do, you can like twist, you can pinch and twist, so it has a nice pointy feel. So let's paint pockets. So we're gonna have to be very careful with this. Let's go. Gonna paint a really straight line, just like that. Paint another line. And paint the last line so we have some sort of a square. You can see, and he has like another line coming through the middle. Now you can see that line is a little bit too thick, but it's fine because what we can do, what I usually do, I carefully get a toothpick and scratch off the paint. Hopefully, if it's not dried in yet, so that way, yeah. So you have the base of the pocket. And also it has like silver, but has like a silver dot. So we're gonna use our toothpick again, and I'm gonna paint black dots. So yeah, and we're gonna carefully dip our toothpick in this little cap, and carefully place each individual dots. So this is what we have. Oh shoot. So this is what we have. And once it dries up, we can then place the two silver dots. There's silver paint. My silver paint sucks, but the one I use, it's probably maybe because it's old. It's a folk art. Yep, that's it. And let's paint these. I'm not going to edit this video because I'm too lazy. I want to get this out of the way. And gonna dip our toothpick in water just a little bit. Then what you would do, you get an X-Acto knife and you would whittle the toothpick out so it has like a really sharp point. You can see if this camera would focus, so you can get this really sharp point. You would dip a little bit of paint in there, and on the toothpick, so you can see a little. The camera would focus. You can see a little silver painted parts. You probably couldn't, but I don't care. And then place it onto that leg. Alright, it's not showing off. Showing up? It's not showing up. So you can see the camera would focus. You couldn't really see it that far, but yeah, I put it like the silver paint. Once you do that, you put it back in this leg. And congratulations, you have your first painted leg detail. And if you move the leg and if it scratches off after it dries, wait for like a couple of minutes, probably like a minute or two or up to 5, depending if your paint takes longer to dry or not. And then you would like move the legs and check to see if it works. And if it does, you're good to go. And so that's how you basically paint legs, guys, and like sanding it and making sure it doesn't like scratch off. Hope you guys think this video is helpful, and let me know what else would you like to learn in the comments below. I'll see you guys later.